a startup EV company enters the scene with its premium offerings, the R1T and the R1S. There were hiccups along the way, but they adapted, they learned, and they moved forward. Then came the next big step, the R2, their promised mass market, more affordable EV. But they didn't stop there. In classic one more thing fashion, Rivian unveiled the R3, an even cheaper, rally inspired crossover, and just when you thought that was it, they dropped the R3X, a more rugged, performance focused variant. Now, that is a lot of promises, years ahead of any actual deliveries. But unlike most automakers, these vehicles don't look like rough concepts. They look production ready. And Rivian has everything to gain and just as much to lose. So why take such a big swing? It's now been over a year since the R3 was revealed, so what do we know now? RJ describes the R3 as the little sibling to the R2, explaining that it takes the package and the platform of the R2 and shrinks it. For car enthusiasts, its angular hatchback design immediately evokes memories of the iconic rally cars of the past, like the Lancia Delta Integrale. For everyone else, it marked the debut of the most affordable vehicle in Rivian's lineup, something truly unique and unlike anything that's currently on American roads. But Rivian didn't stop there. They took things a step further by giving the R3 the full rally treatment. Enter the R3X, upgraded with off-road focused specs and bold design cues. It's quickly become the showstopper that everyone was and still is talking about. While Rivian hasn't released any official specs for the R3, we can start making some educated guesses based on what we know about the R2. During the presentation, it was revealed that the R3 is 135 millimeters or about 5 inches shorter than the R2, bringing its total length to roughly 2,800 millimeters or 110 inches. While width details weren't shared, all signs point to the fact that the R3 will be the most maneuverable vehicle in Rivian's lineup, ideal for tight city streets and small parking spaces. We also know that Rivian plans to offer the R3 in multiple motor configurations, including single, dual, and the tri-motor variants. It's highly likely that all of these will utilize Rivian's new Maximus drive unit, first introduced with the R2. RJ has recently shared updates on Maximus, highlighting its optimization for both weight and efficiency, as well as significant cost reduction. Compared to the Enduro unit found in R1 vehicles, Maximus boasts a 41% reduction in part count, an impressive engineering leap. And in sharing more photos of the R2 Maximus drive unit, we noticed something interesting. If you look closely, it appears that adaptive shocks may be in testing. That's a big deal because it suggests that the R2 and the R3 could offer adjustable suspension, giving drivers a smoother and more controlled ride both on and off the road. This would obviously be very different from R1's air suspension, but a very welcome addition for a vehicle that should be going off-roading. The R3 is also expected to feature a similar die-cast architecture to the R2, built around a structural module Rivian calls the Treehouse. This integrated component houses key systems including the high-voltage power electronics, the rear zonal controller, battery pack contactors, DC to DC and DC to AC converters, and the bi-directional onboard charger. It fits into the rear of the battery and beneath the rear seat, true packaging magic that maximizes space and efficiency. All of this just to say that Rivian will offer the R3 with two battery sizes, the larger one offering an estimated 300 miles of range. The performance version will achieve 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. Now, once again, we can make some educated guesses about the changes to R3's interior and exterior since the reveal. One confirmed update is that the front seats will no longer fold completely flat, despite what was originally shown during the launch event. The rear seats will still lay flat, maintaining some of that camp-friendly versatility. I'm still holding out hope that Rivian allows the front seats to fold to some extent, but that remains to be seen. As for the steering wheel, the updated next-gen design with the haptic controls is still expected. Rivian hasn't shared any new details here, so for now it looks like that's the direction they're sticking with. We can also expect the 2 glove boxes and the flashlight within the front door frame. As for the exterior, the most notable update is the relocation of the NACS charging port to the rear driver's side, making it more compatible with Tesla's existing supercharger network. This change mainly benefits users of older supercharger cabinets, which have shorter cables, though newer stations now feature longer, more flexible cords. Personally, I like the original rear passenger side placement, but honestly, no matter where Rivian puts it, someone's bound to disagree. Everything else on the exterior appears to remain unchanged, and I'm really hoping that Rivian keeps the split tailgate with the flipper rear glass. It's a unique feature with some genuinely useful applications, and it definitely adds a lot of versatility to the vehicle's design. One final note worth mentioning is the interior of the R3X, which felt like the most prototype-like aspect of Rivian's new lineup. I wouldn't expect the cork accents and other experimental materials to make it to production. It seems more like a design exploration, testing how far Rivian could push material choices. While the R3X will likely be the most premium and expensive variant of the R3, I doubt these elements will scale, especially if Rivian wants to keep the costs in check. Now, Rivian has made it clear that the R2 will be built in the newly expanded facility in Normal, Illinois, while the R3 and the R3X are slated for production at the future Georgia plant. And here's where things start to get a little bit uncertain, because the Georgia facility, originally planned to begin production in 2028, has been put on pause as Rivian focuses on ramping up R2 production in Illinois. To date, there hasn't been any significant progress reported at Georgia's site. This likely pushes R3 production out to about 2028, 2029, maybe even 2030. Honestly, it's anyone's guess at this point. As for pricing, the R2 is set to start at $45,000, so it's reasonable to expect the R3 to land in the $30,000 to $40,000 range. That would put it in direct competition with the next generation Chevy Bolt, the Kia EV3, and potentially a more affordable Tesla if one actually materializes. That is what we know about R3 at this current moment. If I missed anything, please put it in the comments below so others can check it out and see if there have been any changes or if it's about the same from when it was released. I want to thank you so much for watching. If this was insightful, educational, please like the video so others can see it, and subscribe to my channel for all things Rivian. Thanks for watching, and remember, adventure is always out there.